Let's take a look at our route on Google Maps. This entire trip happens down in the Aleutian Islands off the end of Alaska. We start at the airport and take off and then head around and end up going over the very tip of this peninsula, across the bay, and coming in at about the center point of this beach. We climb over the hills here through the valley and down to the other side into this inlet, and then head out, take a left turn and climb over the hills. On the other side, when we reach the entrance to English Bay, we slightly adjust our heading and head out across to Unalga Island. Cross the island and then head across the bay here. We hit this beach here and climb up over the hills through this pass, and then come down the other side and cross over these mountains, heading towards, and take a hard right-hand turn to the airport. The airport doesn't actually appear on Google Maps, but it is there, and it's actually a straight in, almost a perfect straight in approach. That's it. Let's set up our navigation. So we're going to altitude select 2,500 feet. Vertical speed down to go up, so 500 feet a minute. We're going to set our heading. And our first heading is 77 degrees. All right, so we've got heading mode, vertical speed, altitude 2,500, 500 feet per minute. And we'll turn on the autopilot when we get going. Got to change the prop. Move the propeller to like 80%. All right, so this is a tail dragger. So when we go to take off, you're going to see the rear wheel lift off first, and then we'll pull up slightly just to get the wheels clear, and then we can pull up more sharply once the rear wheel is clear of the ground. Humpy Cove. Welcome to Aleutian Islands, the starting point on your Grand Alaskan tour. From the runway at Unalaska Airport, take flight and head northeast across Dutch Harbor. As you pass around Mount Coxcomb in the distance, Summer Bay Lake should come into view. Continue beyond the lake to the shoreline of Humpy Cove just beyond. Going to be slightly more to the left. So just change our heading a little bit to get us a little bit, 5 degrees maybe, get us a little bit more. Just to skirt the end of that mountain. English Bay. Adjust northeast again and head over Agamek Bay. Look for a creek running inland from the northern shore and follow it all the way until it leads you to the waters of English Bay. Taking a look at the map. We're flying across the peninsula. So we're supposed to go about here. We're a little far high, so let's just adjust our heading a little bit. Maybe intercept it a little closer. So we're supposed to cross about there. And we're going to change to 43. Right up this valley here. See that inlet we're heading for? We're actually heading for this very tip of this point right here. If you take a look at the map, we're just crossing that tip here. We're just here, and we're flying across here. We're gonna go across, and you see this bay and hit that tip. So that's right here, Onagla Island. Continue over English Bay and beyond the land protrusion known as Fisherman's Point, and cross the waters of Onagla Pass to reach Onagla Island. Just a quick check-in. We're supposed to cross just to the tip of this and hit this point right here on the island. Opposite shoreline. As you traverse Onagla's bumpy, pockmarked terrain, head for the northeastern shore, where the island opens up to Baby Pass. Amidst the waters of Baby Pass, find your way over the rocky Baby Islands towards Cape Morgan, at the tip of larger Okatan Island in the distance. Look for two bays separated by a rocky promontory, and head to the wider bay known as Broad Bight. Let's take a look at our map again. We're flying in, we're landing on this bay, so just to the left of this peninsula, and then going across through this valley here. So when we get to the shoreline here, we're going to turn left to 016 to go between these hills right here. Up for that. We're heading to 016. And make sure we line up between those hills, right about there. That'll do. Hot Springs Bay. Rise along the slope of the Broad Bight as the form of Mount Akutan grows larger before you. As you pass around its eastern side and over a low ridge, your path will lead to Hot Springs Bay. Our next turn, we're going to take a sharp right-hand turn to 088 and fly direct to the airport. There are some pretty high hills here, so we need to clear those and then immediately start to descend as fast as we can. Looking at the airport, we're lined up almost, if we manage to line it up, if we follow the path, we're going to line up perfectly with the runway. Look for that island, and then it's directly in from there. And there's this spit of land. The airport's a little hard to see, so we just have to keep an eye out for it. Some of these hills here, so we definitely want to climb. Once we get out over the water, we'll get ready to land. So we're going to go to 88 degrees anytime now. Head out of Hot Springs Bay and make your way around the outcropping of Ridge Point just to the east. Once past the point, continue east over Sandy Cove along the shoreline towards Akuan Island in the distance. On the island's southwestern shore, your first destination awaits, Akuan Airport. Solve some flaps. Eyeball the runway again. Uh-oh. Turn off the autopilot and fly. There's the runway dead ahead. Again, this is a tail dragger. Have to be careful not to not to hit the brakes too hard.
500.
Here we go. Thanks for joining me for leg 1.